The Daily Word, June 6, 2021. The topic is healing. My thoughts, words, and actions affirm divine life. Today, I give thanks for the constant activity of divine, healing life, especially when my body is experiencing illness. To bolster my awareness of my capacity for healing, I place my attention on my inherent wholeness. I affirm life in my thoughts, my words, my actions, as I care for my body and meet its needs. My faith assures me that illness is not the truth of me, nor is it my enduring reality. Through my actions, I am affirming wholeness as my true nature and encouraging my healing. Even when I'm not facing illness, I greet each day by blessing my body, affirming my wholeness and the ongoing activity of divine life in every organ and every cell. I give thanks for the gift of divine life by giving thanks for my healing and living joyously. And the scripture verse for today is Luke 8:48. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace." And I wish that we all go in peace.
Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. Nothing's gonna harm you, no sir, not while I'm around. Demons are prowling everywhere nowadays. I'll send 'em howling, I don't care. I've got ways. No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. Others can desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing can harm you, not while I'm around. Being close and being clever ain't like being true. I don't need to, I would never hide a thing from you like some. No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. Others can desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. Demons will charm you with a smile for a while, but in time, nothing can harm you, not while I'm around.
Thank you, Byron. So, as we mentioned a little earlier, we're doing a cinema series, and the movie that we're going to be weaving into the message this morning is Evan Almighty. I don't know how many of you have seen that, but it's a great movie. This one is a great one for the whole family. Some of these are not necessarily kid-friendly, others, this is one that everyone can watch. And for those of you who might not be familiar, Evan Baxter has recently been elected to the U.S. Congress for his first term. His campaign was built around the slogan, "Change the World." And as they move, he and his family, into their new home and relocate and prepare for this new life, Evan realizes that his campaign promise might be bigger than his ability to deliver. He starts to have some second thoughts about how he's going to make that happen. And so he decides to follow his wife's advice and pray. Let's look at the first. That wasn't exactly the clip I intended to show you, and yet here we are. He prays, "God, help me change the world." And we know that as we pray, we often get our prayers answered in ways that we weren't exactly expecting. And this is what happened to Evan the next morning after he prayed that prayer. And the signs that Evan receives from God seem pretty crazy to him. I think they would seem pretty crazy to any of us who might all of a sudden have this experience of things delivered and this person claiming to be God showing up and doing it in a way that we had to question whether or not that might be true. Build an ark? How is that going to change the world, except perhaps to cause his family and his constituency to think he's gone absolutely crazy? And while I have never had a prayer answered in quite this unusual way, there have been certainly a number of times when I've received guidance in an answer to a prayer that seemed pretty crazy to me at the time. And more often than not, it caused me to be stretched outside of my comfort zone. You know, there's a saying, be careful what you pray for, because you just might get it. I have a friend who, a number of years ago, when he was first getting into ministry, prayed sincerely for personal transformation. That was the prayer. God, I just want to be personally, spiritually transformed. And within 6 months, his marriage had ended, his job had ended, he had some major health challenges, he moved to a new city where he knew no one, and found himself stripped of everything that was familiar, everything that was comfortable in his life. And yet ultimately, with a lot of inner work, eventually he came out of the other side having experienced exactly what he prayed for: deep, personal, spiritual transformation, and had a wonderful life, better than he could have even imagined. And yet, he also said, next time I'm going to be much clearer in the way that I pray. I like to tell God, okay, just nice, gentle shifts and changes for me, please. We don't have to rip up all that I hold dear and wonderful in order to experience this transformation. And while Evan is very resistant at the beginning, he encounters within his family and with God eventually convince him to do what God asked him to do, and that was to build an ark. As he suspected, his family and the entire community were convinced that he had absolutely gone crazy. And towards the end of the movie, we discover why Evan was guided to do what he was asked to do, even though everyone else could not fathom a reason of why. So let's see if we can, the Get on the Ark clip, let's see if we can put that one up there. What we discover is that due to faulty and corrupt practices by some of his fellow congressmen, the dam was not constructed to code, and eventually it breaks, flooding the entire valley. And ultimately, the ark is there to save the people of the valley and to bring them into, I didn't show you the end clip, they bring them right to Congress where they have to now address and own up to what they've done. You know, we don't always understand the guidance that we get, and it's usually not as strong as Morgan Freeman's demonstrating God's omnipresence to us. And yet, the more that we are in touch with Spirit, and the more that we are attuned to and are willing to follow the urgings and the guidance that comes through to us, and the more that we're willing to step aside and move and stretch outside of our own comfort zones and follow the guidance, we deepen our trust to know that it's always there for our good, even when we always don't understand what that good is going to look like. We ultimately may not be clear about the whys or even the hows at times, and yet we can trust that it's always good. So let's take a look at the final clip of You Did Good. Change the world one random act of kindness at a time. I love that. And hopefully you'll remember that phrase, ARC, when you're out there and you're wanting to make a difference in the world. Very often we don't have a wide perspective to fully understand why we are guided and to act and to be and to show up in certain ways. And we may never know how one act of kindness may affect someone or some situation and change someone's life. We often don't get to see the results of the trail that we leave when we are out just being supportive and loving to our fellow human beings. The film reminds us and invites us to pray often, not just for the big stuff, but for the little stuff too, whatever it is that we could use some help with. And in our times of meditation and quiet and our times of listening, it invites us to become more practiced so that we can pay attention to and hear and trust our own inner spiritual guidance. And our greatest learning curve, I think, is to overcome our willingness to be open to following that guidance. And to know that even when we have a vision as big as changing the world, we do it with each act of random kindness. I performed my first act of random kindness this morning by cleaning out the litter box. And it's not really random because I do it fairly regularly, and yet I know as I do it with a great deal of kindness and love that my cat is very grateful. So I invite you now to join with me and let's begin our own time of listening to that inner guidance as we move into meditation. I just invite you to get comfortable right where you are and set aside anything you might be holding on to. Perhaps close your outer eyes and your outer ears so that you can be fully attuned to hearing and to seeing what God seeks to impress upon your mind and heart in this moment. As you breathe the very breath of life, the very breath of God into your being, know that with each breath that you take, that you invite and welcome in the divine wisdom of the universe. It is always there for us when we can quiet those racing thoughts of the mind and open that inner gateway to all that is divine through our heart. In this moment, see if there is a prayer that arises, however big or small it might be. And as you allow that to fill your heart and mind space, know that it moves out into the realm of the energy of God. And in response, you receive the right and perfect guidance. Perhaps it's a new idea. Perhaps it is the flooding of your heart that allows you to let go of something you've been holding on to that is blocking your good. Perhaps it shows up in a way that you've never experienced before, and yet, as you are in this space of receiving, you know it comes from and for your highest good. Just rest for a moment. Listen. And allow the guidance of Spirit to awaken you in this moment, in the silence. And as you begin to bring your attention back to this time and space, know that even in this moment, your prayer is already in motion. Whether you've received guidance now or it shows up as this day unfolds or in the days to come, be alert and watch for those right connections. A book or article that jumps out at you, a conversation that you have that continues to bring forth what it is that your heart most desires right now. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and feel this prayer energy support you and open you to this day. So your invitation this week is to really be paying attention to your own inner guidance in the ways that it shows up. I've had it show up in some of the most unusual ways, so just be open, be ready. Whether it's to have lunch or to invite some major shift into your life, to continue to pray and ask for support in how that unfolds, and to build your own arc, one act of random kindness at a time.
Think of all the hearts beating in the world at the same time. Think of all the faces and the stories they could tell at the same time. Think of all the eyes looking out into this world, trying to make some sense of what we see. Think of all the ways we have of seeing. Think of all the ways there are of being. Think of all the children being born into this world at the same time. Feel your love surround them through the years they'll need to grow at the same time. Just think of all the hands that will be reaching for a dream. Think of all the dreams that could come true. Yes, if the hands we're reaching with could come together, joining me and you. When it comes to thinking of tomorrow, we must protect our fragile destiny. In this precious life, there's no need to borrow. The time has come to be a family. Think of all the love pouring from our hearts at the same time. Think of all the light our love can shine around this world at the same time. Just think what we've been given, and think what we could lose. All of life is in our trembling hands. It's time to overcome our fears and join to build a world that loves and understands. It helps to think of all the hearts beating in the world, and hope for all the hearts beating in this world. There's a healing music in our hearts, beating in this world at the same time. At the same time.
Well, I'm just having all kinds of technical difficulties this morning. All right, we'll just hold on to this for the moment. All right, well, it is that time in our service that we get to share of our financial good with this ministry. It is in that energy of gratitude that we celebrate all the good flowing through Center of Unity. We are certainly grateful for those who faithfully share of their financial good in support of this ongoing mission that we have. We're grateful for those who generously give of their time and of their talents to support us. And we are grateful that we live in an abundant universe, and there's always enough to do what is ours to do. As we prepare to share our tithes and our gifts with this offering, see if you can't bring to mind into your heart that energy of gratitude for all the good flowing through your life and the ways in which you get to support the things that you love and want to see grow and expand in this world. After we bless our gifts, the ushers are going to invite you to come up row by row and place your gift in the large basket up here, and then receive an affirmation to support you for this week. And even if you give electronically or this is not your Sunday to share, we want you to be in that flow of giving and receiving. So you can either take one of the little cards that you'll find in front of the pew and use that to place in the basket, or simply just place your hand over it and add your energy of abundance to it. And if for some reason it's not comfortable for you to come and be a part of this, you can certainly drop your offering off at the basket by the door on your way out and receive an affirmation there too. And to support those who are watching us remotely in that flow of giving and receiving, you can visit our centerofunity.org/give page and scroll down, and you can also receive affirmations. They're changed out each week, and you can click on the picture that speaks to you, and you will receive an affirmation for this week too. So join me as we hold these gifts in our hands and in our hearts and bless them together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I receive, and all that I am. Thank you, Father, Mother God. Just one of those. They're saying that she's coming out. And like we're licensed. She hasn't turned my mic off. I'll talk to you about it later. I don't want to speak too loud because
That's beautiful, Bob. All right, we just want to welcome our guests again this morning. If you're watching us for the first time, we're glad that you've chosen to be with us, and we invite you to go to our website and to fill out the connection card. There's a place there that you can fill out a connection card, and if you'll complete that and just hit send, or if you're here with us this morning for the first time, there's a card actually right in front of you. You could fill that out and drop it in the basket at the back or at the desk on the way out to the front. We appreciate you being here today. And we always like to appreciate our volunteers. And this morning we appreciate Brigitte Hughes, who has worked in our youth ed with our kids for 22 years, actually. She has stayed with us through thick and thin, through some of the hard times and the lean times and the good times, and she's always been here with us. We so do appreciate you, Brigitte. We love you and we bless you. We truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste. All right, now we've got some kids coming down. Let's bring them in.
Can I say one more thing, Jay?
You can.
Sorry. We had something. Arts Council Northeast has an annual event called Shining Stars. And we had about 230 people come there. So glad to see each other. So glad. Chitty-chatty, having great times together. And these nonprofit organizations come, and we honored over 40 people that stood out for the nonprofits, giving so much for them. So this is a great time to honor these precious people. So I asked Linda, I invited her to come out. Reverend Linda came and came to this event, and then a couple of days before then I said, well, since you're coming, it sure be great if we had an invocation. And so she came up and she spoke, and all of these people just got focused. I don't know if I remember seeing that, and I thought, did that really happen? And we had some photographs taken, and everybody was all centered together. And it was a beautiful experience. And so I just wanted you to know what Reverend Linda is doing out there in the community. That's it. Thank you, Linda. It was wonderful.
All right, and I think we have a kid right there. I see him. If they want to come down and we can sing this little light of mine, Bob. Let's do it. Hey.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hey.
You seem to know this child.
Yeah. This one has my heart in a big old way. Yes, this is Riley. All right.
All right, so we actually have some announcements that we just forgot, but we'll do them right after so you can do them. But why don't we go ahead and everybody stand up?
It wasn't me this
No,
Sunday.
it was me this
Okay.
time.
Just
I
making
forgot
that
the
clear.
announcements, but that's okay because they're on video and we can watch them.
That's true.
All right, let's join together and we're going to do our peace song, shall we?
And let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father,
so as we go into this day, into this week, after watching a few announcements, let's go knowing our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. Be sure to join us today at 1 p.m. for our virtual town hall meeting, where we'll share news and you can ask questions and share your thoughts. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the Center of Unity app. We are excited to host a fun-filled and creative afternoon at the DIY workshop, where Alex Gossi will show us how to make a cement planter. You'll even be able to take your project home with you that day. The all-inclusive cost of this workshop is $35. Visit the COU Give page to pay in advance, and be sure to note that the payment is for the class. As part of our spiritual cinema series, we're hosting a movie and pizza night featuring the film Field of Dreams on Wednesday, June 23rd at 6 p.m. It's fun for all ages, so visit our website or the Center of Unity app to RSVP. Join Rhonda Lightfoot on the second Monday of the month at 7 p.m. for a guided meditation and discussion group. Whether you're new to meditation or have been practicing for a while, you will enjoy this class. There will be an opportunity to journal, so bring something to write in and meet in the sanctuary. Feel free to bring a blanket and or a cushion. Every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., Michelle Ricardo and others gather on Zoom to practice compassionate communication in a playful online environment. All are welcome to join. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the Center of Unity app. Want to discuss the Sunday message in more detail? Join us online for an adult Sunday school from 12 to 12:45 p.m. Each class is self-contained and all are welcome to join. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the Center of Unity app. Join Reverend Linda every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. for the Metaphysical Bible Interpretation class, where we refocus our attention on the good that God is making available to us now. Each class is self-contained. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the Center of Unity app. Every Sunday, we gather on Zoom before church to say hey and catch up. Come join us from 10 to 10:25 a.m. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the Center of Unity app. There are multiple ways you can make a donation to the Center of Unity. You can drop off your donation at the church, mail it to our P.O. box, visit our website, use the COU or Venmo app, or you can text to give. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.